Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a two-point perspective cityscape. The first thing that you want to do with this assignment is figure out the center of your paper. Now, because you're drawing on an 8.5 by 11, the center of your paper is going to be 4 1/4 or 4.25. Measure that out on both sides and then draw a line to connect the dots together. That is going to be your only horizontal line in this artwork. Because the beautiful thing about two-point perspective is you only have to deal with two types of lines. You either deal with a vertical line, which is a straight up and down line, or a line that goes to the vanishing point, one of the two. You're going to put your vanishing point on the horizontal line that you drew. You then need to determine where the center of your paper is and draw a line going vertical. This is going to be the side of your building, the corner of it. This is going to be the corner of your building. You then need to draw two lines on either side of it going to the vanishing points. This is going to be the sidewalk corner and the side of your building. Once you determine how wide you want your building to be, add in some vertical lines, and that is your building. And from here, all you have to do is add in more vertical lines. Determine how wide you want your buildings to be with lines going to the vanishing point on that side and add in a vertical line. It's that simple. Now, if you want to add in a tall building, then you're going to have to add in a line going to the other vanishing point, because as you can see right here, you can see the back side of the building, so you need to add in a line going to the other vanishing point. You can either have the building go all the way back into the distance where it continues out, or you can have it end with another vertical line. And this may seem a little confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually really easy to do, because there's only two types of line. You have a vertical line, or your line goes to the vanishing point. That's it. If you want to draw a gap in between your buildings like I have here, it's the same concept. All you have to do is just draw in your vertical line for the sides of the building and add in your lines going to the vanishing points. That is it. That is all you have to do. Now that is drawing the buildings and getting the buildings done. Now we're going to move on to the sidewalk. The sidewalk is a more difficult thing for some students to draw, but basically you need to figure out where the end of your sidewalk is going to be. Just draw your center line down a little bit like we have here, and then connect to the vanishing points. At first, this is not going to look like a sidewalk because sidewalks have a little lip on it. So we're going to draw just a little bit further down on that line, and we're going to add in our vanishing points again. So just draw the line to the vanishing points, and as you can see here, you now kind of have a sidewalk. But we're going to add in more detail to this. We're actually going to add in squares for the sidewalk. And how you do that? The first ones are super easy. You just follow your original line out with the side of your buildings. That is going to make a square with your vanishing points. So as you can see here, I just continue the line out, and there we have it. Now there is one little part that you want to add in, and that is a vertical line right at the edge of the concrete pad. That is going to make it look like it is rising up. So it's going from the vanishing points, continue the line out, and then a vertical line right there. Now the next step, this is something that gets a little bit more complicated. You want to add in the blocks, and they need to look like that they are getting further away from you. There is a really complicated formula for this, which I'll pop up on the screen right here, but the easiest way is to determine where the center of your line is. Connect that to the corner of your block like this, and where that line meets the other line, that is going to be the beginning of your next block. Line that up with your vanishing point, and there you have your next block. And that is going to continue to get smaller as you progress further through the artwork. So it's corner, center, and then that lines up with your next block. So just find out where the center of that line is, line it up, and that's the beginning of your next block. And I'm going to show you this again on the other side as well, but once you have all those made up, then you can go in, erase those diagonal lines that you put in there to determine where the next block was going to be, and you have a sidewalk that progresses and gets smaller. So once you have that done, then you're going to do the exact same thing on the next side. Just find out where the center is, draw your line up, and connect to the vanishing point. Continue that for the other side, and you will have your completed sidewalk. Now next I go in and I erase some of the lines that I don't need anymore. For instance, I don't want my sidewalk to go all the way out into the distance, so I erase that there. But if you want to have the buildings go so far out that you can't see them anymore, that's fine. Now here I'm going to be adding in a door. The first door that I'm going to be adding in is going to be matching up with the horizon line. So I like to add in doors at around that area so I don't have to remap where the tops of the building or the tops of the doors are. So I just follow with the horizon line, and then I go down and make a vertical line. And then from there, that's a door. Now with this example, actually what I add in is a revolving door, and revolving doors and circles are easy to do. I'm adding this in as an example. Basically, you determine where the beginning and end point of the circle is, and then you just kind of match it up with the squares. Line it up, round it off, and there you have a revolving door. Now this is not mandatory. If you want to put in a regular door, I'm going to show you how to do that, but I wanted to add in a revolving door for anybody who wanted to know how to draw a circle or draw anything like that. Basically, you just round the corners over. Right here I'm adding in the lines for the revolving door. And next I'm going to be drawing a normal door. I'm going to be doing this on another building. So over here, all I'm doing, lining it up with the horizon line, drawing a vertical line down, and drawing a doorknob. If you want to do a small door, or you don't want it to line up with the horizon line, all you have to do is draw the top line going to the vanishing point, and get some vertical lines in there, and add some doorknobs. Next, I'm doing windows, and windows are exactly the same thing. Remember, like I said, they are either a vertical line or they're going to the vanishing point. That's it. So draw in your vanishing point lines and then add vertical lines. Now right here, if you want panels in your window, you do exactly the same thing that we did with the sidewalk. You just kind of have to eyeball where the first window is going to be at. Like for instance, I'm doing that right here. And then you do the same thing we did before. Start in the corner. Find out where the center of that line is that you drew and draw a line through it. And where that line meets up at the top is going to be your next window pane. So just line that up, draw your line down, and there's your next window pane. And you continue that process all the way over until you run out of window space. So again, through the center, line it up, draw the lines. Once you get that figured out, windows are super easy to add in. And then you go in whenever you get that finished, erase the lines you don't need, and you have your window panes. And that's basically it. Now for the remainder of the project, what I want you to do, I want you to either fully color or fully shade your artworks. That's your assignment. So you're going to be making a 2-point perspective cityscape. You either need to fully shade it or fully color it, and your result should look something similar to this. Now I'm not looking for this exactly. I want it to be your artwork. You will have plenty of time to work on this 2-point perspective. If you need help, go back, watch the video. I've also linked the full-length video, which is only like 20 minutes. So if you want to watch it as I draw it, you can do that. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your day, guys.